Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, more than a dozen families in Farmington Hills forced to find a new place to stay just one day before the Easter holiday.
Well, their apartments totally unrecognizable after a fast-moving fire destroyed everything in its path. Tonight, victims are speaking out. And Fox News' Jessica Dupnack explains how you can help.
There are 18 families without a place to live after fire destroys the guts of this apartment building behind me. Now, the City of Farmington Hills says that the smoke alarms went off, but tenants we talked to say they didn't hear a thing.
Did anyone else there say that they heard the fire alarms?
Everybody that I asked said no.
Brian Badger's voice still hoarse from the smoke. He was babysitting his 3-year-old granddaughter, Georgia, at his daughter's Farmington Hills apartment Saturday night. He says the family dog was acting odd around 10 p.m. Then Brian smelled smoke, grabbed his 3-year-old granddaughter, and ran out.
I was knocking on the doors, opening the doors that were unlocked, and clearing them, making sure that nobody was in on the way out.
8 units totally destroyed, 10 more damaged at the Botsford Place Terrace Apartments. Everyone spilled out into the parking lot, watching firefighters battle it for 4 hours.
I think I ran the fastest 800 meters of my life to get to my kid because my stomach just dropped.
Sierra Wilson's stepdad and daughter were okay, but their dog and cat stuck inside. A brave police officer rushed back in to save them.
They got her cat. Yes.
One of their cats is still missing. The cause appears accidental, but is still under investigation. And according to this Facebook post made by the City of Farmington Hills, it says the smoke alarms within the building activated properly, but some tenants say they didn't hear them.
I rebuilt myself in that house, so it's hard. Like it was my start over spot, and now I lost everything again, and I have to start over again.
Sierra and her little girl do need clothes and the basics until insurance comes through for them. If you want to help, her information is on our website. Reporting in Farmington Hills, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Developing tonight, a woman is killed in a deadly single-car crash on 275. It happened just after 7 this evening. Michigan State Police shutting down southbound lanes of the freeway at I-94. Police say the 25-year-old driver lost control before crossing the freeway into the median, hitting the Huron River Drive overpass. The cause of this crash still under investigation.
An American flag blowing back and forth with those gusty winds today. It's all around Metro Detroit.
So the question is, how long will the wind stick around? Rich Luderman with our answer. Hey, Rich.
Hey there, Roop and Taryn. We did see low pressure pass north of the Great Lakes today. We did have showers early this morning, even a few rumbles of thunder, but it was the wind that was the real story. Notice some breaks in the clouds starting to develop on the other side of the state. So that's why tomorrow we're going to see quite a bit of sunshine and a lot less wind. In fact, we're looking at a very nice Tuesday. You can still see the clouds are with us for the time being. Wind speeds are diminishing. If you look close, you can see the city and the RenCen in the background. You can see the flags flying in the foreground. Kind of cool looking shot there along the Detroit River, but it is still brisk. Temperatures were in the middle 70s for a lot of us this afternoon. Notice the colder numbers up north. Houghton and Newberry stayed in the 30s and 40s. Here are the numbers at Metro Airport. 74 on the high side, 48 on the cool side. We are cooling off now. 49 Howe, 47 Lansing, 54 is for Monroe and for Windsor. Mount Clemens all coming in at 54. Now, earlier today, we had wind gusts up near 45 miles per hour. Here are the latest gusts. A lot of them topping out in the middle 30s. So these speeds continue to drop, and they will for the rest of tonight. 43 Ludington, 36 up there in Marquette. That's cold. 34 in Thunder Bay, Ontario, 50 in Chicago, 61 to our south in Cincy. Watch what happens over the next couple of days. Tomorrow we get a break from all the action. Now Wednesday there'll be a weak piece of energy that comes at us from the west, so we could see a stray shower Wednesday, but tomorrow looks good. Thursday looks good. You'll see it all in the 7-day forecast. Blustery, cooler tonight, down to 43. Tomorrow, sunshine, and remember, when the April sun is out, you can really feel it, and we will tomorrow with a lot less wind, 67. Right there's the 7-day forecast. A mild stretch Wednesday, Thursday. Friday looks wet at times, but still 74, cooler and dry for the weekend. A full check at 4 a.m.
I think our Holy Father, Pope Francis, as I said at my massive installation, was perceived by the world, not just Catholics, but non-Catholics and even non-believing people, as the real thing.
The leader of the Catholic Church in Metro Detroit in mourning with high praise for the people's Pope. The Vatican says Pope Francis died from a stroke that led to heart failure around 4 this morning.
In less than 24 hours since he blessed, thousands of faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square. Fox News' Dave Kinchin shows us how Metro Detroiters are honoring the first Latin American pontiff in history.
Remembrance, celebration, and reflection. Some of the many touch points in the Archdiocese of Detroit's massive suffrage for Pope Francis, who died Monday at age 88.
Finishing Easter Sunday Mass here yesterday morning, I did not think I would be back so quickly.
Let us grieve and let us rejoice, the message from Archbishop Edward Weisenberger.
While part of me is filled with sadness today, part of me is also filled with joy for one whom I love.
He sat down with the press earlier in the day to talk about his meeting with the Holy Father back when he led the Archdiocese of Tucson, where many issues came up, including immigration.
We had some wonderful discussions amongst ourselves about those issues, and of course he really stresses that immigration should never be looked at as an issue in the abstract. But these are real human beings.
Hearts heavy for area parishioners as many started the day in shock over news of the pontiff's death. The morning mass helping many grieve.
It really touched me, so I just felt that I had to be here.
The first Jesuit pope made a historic trip to the United States in 2015, anchored by that year's World Meeting of Families in Philadelphia. I shot this smartphone footage of his presidential-level motorcade coming into town, the pope waving at supporters from a Fiat rather than the iconic Pope-mobile we typically saw him in.
Buenas tardes.
He would deliver this speech on religious freedom in the shadow of the Liberty Bell.
It was here that the freedoms which define this country were first proclaimed.
Also on that tour, an unscheduled stop at St. Joseph's University, where the Pope honored a statue dedicated to interfaith celebration.
It's unreal. I was saying earlier, there's cloud 9, and then this just feels like cloud 10.
A deep appreciation for a man who church leaders say appealed to Catholics, non-Catholics, and even non-believing people alike because of his natural authenticity.
There was something profoundly transparent in the best of ways, something very genuine about him that really spoke to the hearts of a great many people.
And Detroit's Archbishop says while he's not involved in the selection of the next pope, of course, he will be watching it very closely. In Detroit, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
An Allen Park man is accused of stabbing his grandmother to death and then dumping her body in a field.
Now, 31-year-old Ian Sharp is facing first-degree murder charges. Investigators say they found his 84-year-old grandmother's body Saturday in Detroit, miles away from where he allegedly stabbed her at her home in Allen Park. The suspect's mom says her son had been battling substance abuse and is a diagnosed schizophrenic who's reportedly shown violent signs for years.
I'm just disgusted that it came to this. And I certainly hope that he's put into a facility where he can get the psychiatric treatment that he needs. I just hope that this brings to light the ineffectiveness of the system that we have in place for people with mental health conditions.
She says her son was living with his grandmother after he was released from a mental health facility. He's also spent time in a shelter.
Outside your house.
A tense standoff in Roseville as police swarm a home with a barricaded gunman inside. This man, officers responding to a report of a double shooting today at a home on Maysel near 14 Mile and Gratiot. We're told 2 women with gunshot wounds were rushed to the hospital, and the suspected shooter, Donald Pickett, eventually surrendered around 7 this morning.
Front door, he's at the door. One subject's out. Drone does not see anything else inside at this time. We're probably going to be looking for a shotgun. Drone is in the basement. There's blood all over the basement. Debris everywhere.
The suspect allegedly said a dog went crazy and bit multiple people in the house. We're told the victims are going to be okay.
Huron Township officials are considering the removal of a nearly century-old dam on the Huron River.
But many in the community aren't willing to go with the flow with that idea. Fox News' Dave Spencer has more on what's at stake.
Steelhead, pulled it off the wall using a flicker shad. I've been here for about 30 minutes.
There are fish to be had in between the Flat Rock Dam and the Huron Dam. What kind of fish is that?
This is garbage fish. It's not
garbage.
So. Nice and clean, friendly people up here. The water's pretty good. You get trout, salmon.
Here, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who wants to see things change to these waters.
It's a great fishery. I wouldn't change anything about it.
I want the dam to stay how it is. I just want it to be maintained and fixed is all I want. I don't want it to change.
But there is an ongoing study funded through grant money to look into options ranging from minor repairs to the dams to removal. And there are two dams in question. The Flat Rock Dam, which is owned by the Metro Parks, and the Huron Dam, owned by the City of Flat Rock, both of which are part of this study to determine what to do with them. Leave them alone, fix them, or remove them altogether. It's a study that started before Flat Rock Mayor Steve Beller was elected. What even prompted Duffy's? Do you know?
I do not know.
Okay.
I do not know. I do know there are issues with liability and maintenance on it.
He says he's paying close attention to the draft of the study, which was recently published.
The feasibility study is just a draft. So at this moment, there's nothing that we can bring up as council to vote on.
Mayor Beller says he welcomes all input from the public, and so far, it's all been for keeping the dams right where they are.
My heart goes out to, any of the citizens that are losing sleep over this.
As for a timeline on all this, the mayor says that too is unknown. As the draft of the study that was published back in February, it indicated something should be done between 9 and 18 months from then. Dave Spencer, on The Edge.